The historic floods we saw this year show levee systems across the state are more important than ever. In a months-long investigation, ABC 17's Deborah Kendrick has been examining these vital structures. So far, the amount of levee failures has nearly tripled since April.
From March to June, 51 levees have breached or overtopped so far in Missouri. Those levees protect nearly $300 million worth of property. The Army Corps told me back in April that there was nothing they could have done to prevent this historic flooding from happening, but Missouri residents and lawmakers disagree.
You know, Corps leadership told me here that they don't really plan long term. They just respond to situations as they arise. That's not a recipe for success. That's a recipe for the kind of disaster that we're seeing now in the state.
Over the past few months, Senator Josh Hawley has criticized the Army Corps of Engineers for their handling of the Missouri River.
I've met with the Corps leadership and I was told by them, it was really extraordinary. They said, well, we have lots of priorities, but we don't actually put them in any order.
Senator Hawley has introduced two pieces of legislation that will, one, make flood control and prevention a priority, and two, create a council that will give input on river management. Since my last levee investigation aired back in April, the amount of levees that have overtopped or breached has nearly tripled. So far, more than 50 have failed across the state. I took a deeper look at available inspection reports. Only 14% showed a complete pass in their inspection before they breached.
Out in a boat right there the other day. It was tied to that post.
Wow.
So water was all up in here.
Bob Littleton tells me he has lived through 5 historic floods in Missouri.
All of this right over here was all covered.
Yeah, we went in a boat right down the middle of this road the other day.
Every flood he's been through, he tells me it gets worse. As the Brunswick-Dalton Drainage District president, Littleton says the federal levee is managed well by the Army Corps, but there could be an improvement.
They get hammered because they think they're mismanaged and that they keep the water too long in these dams and lakes.
One New Franklin resident agrees that more needs to be done by the Corps.
I don't think it's been managed as well as it could have been.
Residents in towns like New Franklin are working together to rebuild after floodwaters damaged the town. Sylvia Durbin wonders if things will ever return back to normal.
Our poor farmers are done until next year, and then who can say they can do anything next year?
Littleton told me he wasn't surprised by some of the levees that have failed due to aging infrastructure and outdated regulations.
Do you think, is there anything that you can do to prevent this from happening, from seeing these levees breach, overtop, that sort of thing?
Well, we hope someday that we can get our levee built higher. That's the big thing.
Even with the most notable 93 flood, my last investigation uncovered levee regulations have not been changed since 1986. When Senator Josh Hawley was asked about changing regulations like increasing levee heights, he said,
and I think it's something that certainly should be looked at. There needs to be long-term planning here around clear priorities.
Littleton says changing levee heights is not going to be easy. It could take years and a lot of money. I asked the Army Corps to respond to what residents and lawmakers are saying about their management of the river. Now, the Corps told me in an email statement that human life and safety are a top priority. They say that current regulations are already significantly designed around flood control and navigation purposes. They also emphasize that flooding would have still occurred no matter what due to heavy amounts of snow and rainfall. I have more about the Army Corps' response on our website at abc17news.com.
Deborah Kendrick reporting. We also have an interactive map on our website that'll show you which levees have breached so far across the state.